All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks the Podcast, episode 59. Today on the show, a high school football player lost his scholarship because he sang along to a rap song that used the N-word. We'll decide if that's racist or not. People inhaled secondhand crack smoke in this week's Urban Decay. We'll tell you why the subway is not for everyone and why I'm pro-crime bill. And last but not least, we have a Glad That's Not Me section in this week's Housekeeping. All this and more is Fleccas Talks the Podcast, episode 59, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
Fleccas Talks the Podcast featuring Richard Ratboy. All right, this week's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Undertac. Guys, the holidays are here. If you're looking for the perfect stocking stuffer, Undertac underwear is the gift to give. This is the most comfortable boxers I have ever worn. Richard Ratboy feels the same way. They're made from a fabric called modal, which is basically cotton on steroids. It's really good wicking, it's antimicrobial, super good stretch, doesn't pill and get all bad. These are the best boxers I've ever worn, and I'm not just saying that. They're battle tested by special forces, and Undertac gives a percentage of their profits to organizations that fight human trafficking. A true win-win. Undertac.com is the website. Use code FLECCAS20 for 20% off site-wide. It's a great gift to give for the holidays. Why buy underwear from people who hate your guts? Why not support an America First company that shares your America First values? Undertac.com is the website. Go there today. Use code FLECCAS20. They support the show. Why not support them right back? If you send me a screenshot for a purchase of $50 or more, I will send you a free based mug. Do this today. Undertac.com is the website. Use code FLECCAS20. Support the people supporting us. Let's get back to the show. All right, very nice. Thank you to Undertac. We have a very important housekeeping this week. As always, we're going to start the show with things causing heart attacks and blood clots. This week, shoveling snow.
Yeah, it says shovel smart. Shoveling heavy, wet snow can cause back injuries and heart attacks.
So sometimes they're real things.
Yeah, this one is like, I was going to say, the old people die from this all the time, right?
Yeah, and I'm sure the numbers are like 100, 120 every year. It's like, 150, and then in 2022, for some reason, it's going to be 2,600.
The record.
Yeah, 4,000 for some reason.
Yeah.
Who knows why?
It was a snowy season, guys. We couldn't do anything about it.
A lot of things causing heart attacks and blood clots. Also, pilots have been having heart problems too lately.
Yeah, this headline says, pilot dies suddenly after collapsing shortly after takeoff from Chicago Airport. So that's kind of the worst time you could possibly die as a pilot, shortly after takeoff, like getting squirrely up there. You're not even at 30,000 feet yet.
Yeah, not good. Dies suddenly is something we've been seeing a lot lately.
And that documentary came out, right? Dies suddenly or died suddenly?
Exactly. Something you definitely want to check out. And then also unrelated to the pilot who had a heart attack while flying, airlines are now moving to have one pilot, not two, in cost-cutting solution. So
no backup.
No backup. If you have a heart problem because you were forced to get the vaccine, now a lot more people are going to die from the vaccine when we have a lot of plane crashes, I think.
Not in the way you think. They're not blood clots. It's just a body splat at the end of a long thing. Well, my thing is, if it's one pilot, then don't we need like a camera on the pilot the whole time? Don't we need someone watching and being like, okay, he's still good. He's checking in his vitals or something. Like, you can't just risk it.
We kind of need a next man up situation too.
Absolutely.
So I don't really understand how that's going to work. Obviously, a lot of the pilots were forced to get the vaccine, so I don't think they're off the list for people who could have heart problems in air.
Definitely not.
Unfortunately. All right, welcome to the show. We might have some new listeners. It's the holidays. People are off from work. Hopefully everyone had a nice Thanksgiving. Maybe you're not a fan of Fleccas Talks or don't know much about me or the show or Richard Ratboy, my right-hand man. It's a very fun show. It's not even that political. Look, three-legged dog walking like a person. See? Didn't even mention Joe Biden being a Muppet or John Fetterman's neck or the fact that pedophiles are enslaving us and making us debt slaves. We haven't mentioned anything like that. It's just good old-fashioned fun. I was thinking when it comes to making fun of the fact that John Fetterman got elected as a person with a massive brain problem.
Yeah.
there's like a little bit of an upside there. He doesn't even know we're really making fun of him.
That's true.
So it's like,
he just shows up and it's like, hey, John, do the TikTok. We're going to post this TikTok. And he doesn't know how bad it turns out.
Exactly. So when we make fun of him, the only way he'd find out is if one of his aides like typed it into his machine and then he read it. And then if you're doing that, why would you do that?
So true. He's impervious to criticism.
Yeah.
He's done.
Why would you do something like that? Why would you type it into his box and tell him what's going on? Let's not. All right, let's get into some of the action. Joe Biden had a pretty bad turkey gaffe the other day.
Yeah, doing his presidential turkey pardon.
Yeah.
You want me to let it rip?
Let it rip.
How many turkeys we got down? God love you. 9.5 million turkeys. I'll tell you what, that's like some of the countries I've been to.
It's like some of the countries I've been to. So usually with Joe Biden, you can kind of ballpark what he's trying to say. From the foothills of the Himalayas, 3 words, made in America, you know the thing.
2 words, right? Didn't he say 2
He
words?
said 2 words,
Yeah.
but it was 3 words, you know? And then, you know the thing, we kind of knew the thing.
Yeah, he's not wrong. He's not totally off.
We knew the thing kind of in the you know the thing situation. This one, I truly don't know what he was trying to say.
Yeah, either he's been to a country with about 9.5 million people, or he's calling smaller countries filled with turkeys. He's calling their people turkeys.
Or he's been to 9.5 million countries as like a joke for how much he travels. But
Yeah.
I don't fully get that one.
And you know how far off he is with how quick the anyway comes afterwards. You know he's like, oh, it's getting squirrely, and then the anyway comes out. So yeah, that's his tip, like his tell.
And then and the audience is obviously on his side. So no matter what he says, everyone's going, ha, 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 yeah, ha, ha, everything's fine. So yeah, I don't know what he was trying to say with that one. But let's get out of the politics stuff and get into some important things. Richard Ratboy and Taylor Swift are dating.
Yeah, someone sent me this. They said, my lookalike. I
New
guess.
doppelganger just dropped.
Yeah, and I'm slightly more fit than him. I would say I'm probably a little wealthier too. I come from family money that he probably doesn't have.
Yeah,
because
that's
otherwise,
true.
you know, he'd be dating someone prettier. But good to know what my range is, I guess.
Yeah, Taylor Swift is pretty much the end of the spectrum for you.
Exactly.
Of possibilities.
The top end.
Anything within Taylor Swift is achievable.
Yeah, exactly. As long as I get this dusty goatee look shaved up. Looks
Yeah.
like I need to update the facial
That
hair,
looks
so.
good. Congratulations on your new psycho girlfriend.
Thank you.
Next, really quick, 67-pound goldfish got caught.
Yeah, this should be an uplifting gold, I would argue. Fisherman lands whopping 67-pound goldfish, may break world record. It was sheer luck.
Look at that. So if you guys have goldfish and you didn't realize, goldfish have that dog in them.
Yeah, goldfish got that dog in them. There's no governor on them.
Yeah.
If they get out there and the conditions are good, they can keep going for like basically ever.
And I bet there's a situation where they're in a tank and they know how small the tank is and it doesn't do them any good to grow and, suffocate themselves. So they know, but when you let them out in the wild, all systems go full throttle.
Yeah, get into a lagoon with no natural predators and a high oxygen count, you're done. Off to
Yeah.
the races. And
Exactly.
I've seen that in my life. Like I had a golf course I used to caddy, and they had multiple goldfish that were just released, and they were like the size of bass, basically. So I know they're capable. I didn't know they were this capable. So they got that dog in them.
Goldfish
confirmed.
got that dog in them. Confirmed. All right, next we have very important housekeeping. It's almost like a double dose of housekeeping. If you're ever driving in a boat, this is how you tell if you're on a collision course or not. This is just important info I think everyone should kind of have.
I'm going to illustrate how you know when you're on a collision course with another vessel. If you look at this boat we have here, you can see quite clearly he's moving relative to the background. He's overtaken that white little tower block now. So therefore we are not on a collision course if he's moving relative to the building. At this current rate, he's going to overtake me and pass in front of my bow. But if I accelerate, and I'm going to get him stationary on the land as he is now, he's now stationary on the land, that means we're on a collision course, and in fact he needs to give way because I'm on his starboard side. Now if I continue to accelerate, you'll notice that the land once again moves relative to his background, and we're no longer on a collision course. That's how you tell if you're on a collision course.
That's pretty good.
That's good intel. I can't lie.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's good info. It's good to know. And then it's good to know if you're going the same speed that he's got to yield because you're on the starboard side.
I'm looking to apply this as soon as possible, but unfortunately I have no boat slip. I have no time recently, nothing on the clock. So
It's just good info to have.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We did a little bit of a MTV Crib style thing. People want to see what my house looks like, where I live, and what it's like. Hey guys, it's Fleccas. Welcome to my crib. All right, yeah, that's where I live. That's what it's like here. It's very salty.
Factory.
It's a factory. We got people working around the clock in the gyro production plant.
A lot of hairnets.
A lot of hairnets.
With a beard like this. Schizo beard.
A lot of hairnets. All right. For Thanksgiving, obviously, we want to share the wealth. I was trying to give Jerry some treats, and I Googled, can dogs eat pumpkin pie? And like always, no, you can't feed the dog that. Go get him sick. It's going to kill him. Oh, no, the dogs can't eat pumpkin pie. Oh, it's so bad. All these things. So then it's like everything you Google, if you're trying to give a dog a treat, everyone will say, no, it's bad. It's going to give him stomach problems. It's going to kill him. It's poisonous. So now I have to search what happens if a dog eats pumpkin pie.
Yeah, very distinct from can a dog eat pumpkin pie. Like, show me the consequences, then I'll make the decision, right? Because, I mean, basically, we've done this a lot of times with Googling what the dog can eat. And it never says, yeah, let them rip.
Yeah.
But they eat human food all the time, right?
Yeah, exactly. They do eat human food all the time. So now I'm on this thing where I can't ever feed the dog fun stuff because if I look it up, it's always like, that's poisonous, don't do it. So I looked up what happens if the dog eats pumpkin pie, and you could get upset stomach, which is not a big deal. Dog likes pumpkin pie.
Leading to an upset stomach or abdominal pain. Let him eat.
That's what happens. If you type in what happens if I eat pumpkin pie, it's like, oh.
Same thing.
Exactly.
Like borderline upset stomach.
Everyone eats to the point they feel sick at Thanksgiving. So Jerry's in the club. He's joining us in that journey. All right, we're still in housekeeping. We have actually a little bonus piece of housekeeping. Big Ed, I got a cameo for Richard Ratboy from Big Ed, and he kind of botched it. But before we get there, we have a Glad That's Not Me section. I found 2 clips this week that I watched, and I was just like, wow, I am very happy that's not me. The first one is the Hay-Hole Abyss.
Yep.
This is something you should never do.
No way.
He's gone.
Oh my God.
What now? You're dead?
Josh?
You got to assume that was like a bit, and hopefully there's an exit route, and they're playing a prank on us. But yeah, I would not recommend playing in the hay barrels.
And then next is a tough start to this guy's day. He comes out and has a little bit of a slip.
Double slip.
All the way in.
Into the cellar, concrete stairs.
Done. Tough start to the day.
Yeah.
Well, that's why these are in the Glad That's Not Me section.
Anything else?
No, that's
no
it.
No commentary, just happy that wasn't me?
Yeah, that's the whole point of that part of housekeeping.
All right, good section.
We are moving on. I got Richard Ratboy cameo from Big Ed. Richard Ratboy hasn't seen it. I included some little Rob Smith Easter eggs and stuff like that. Kind of gave him a script, and here's what we got.
Oh my goodness gracious, Richard, what's happening? Hey, Dick. Just kidding.
Dick.
Listen, Richard, Austin, what a cool name. Not to mention. Anyways, wanted me to stop by Big Guy and wish you a happy Thanksgiving. And I'm here to wish you a happy Thanksgiving, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Listen, I hear the show's going great. I hear that that list for Rob Smith keeps growing. So keep up the good work, you guys. And I want to thank both of you for the last time, for being so amazing, for being my biggest fans ever. I'm just wrapped up filming with TLC. Probably going to do another show, but the best
to the
part of my
script,
day,
Ed.
Richard, is doing these shout-outs. And I hope, Richard Dick, I'm just kidding. It's the best part of yours. I love you, buddy. God bless you. Take care.
These reality TV stars think they know better. I gave him a...
He went off script?
It went
Is that what I'm hearing?
Completely off script.
He botched the Rob Smith pronunciation? He said Rob Smiths?
Yeah.
Or Smiths?
Yeah.
You don't disrespect Rob on this show.
You completely botched it, Big Ed. I gave him a tight script, basically just to read, and he started going off about how we're his biggest fans.
Nobody said that, Ed.
So the script I gave him said, my friend Richard's a big 90 Day fan. I guess that's where he got that from. But then I said, can you say? And I gave him the script, and that's what I'm looking for. I need you to hit your lines. Hi, Richard. Just wishing you a happy Thanksgiving. Good work on the show, and I'm happy to hear the list of Rob Smiths keeps growing. He's going to need another cabana soon. And then in the tune of Jingle Bell Rock, instead of Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell Rock, can you sing, it's about Rob?
It's totally reasonable.
Totally reasonable. He did not mention the cabana at all. We have a list of Rob Smiths, obviously the main Rob Smith who we're obsessed with. And then we have other Rob Smiths. Chinese Donut Boy has a friend in New Orleans named Rob Smith. There's a cartoonist named Rob Smith. There was an Uber driver we had named Rob Smith, and his son was named Rob Smith Jr. When we were in St. Petersburg, there was Bert Smith Toyota, a car dealership.
Which
Bert Smith, Rob Bert Smith. So we can't get away with it. And we just keep growing the list. He barely even mentioned that. Rob's going to need another cabana soon because if you have a lot of Rob Smiths, you're not going to have one cabana for the party.
You need two. You need a credit card. You need a second card down. You have to pay in full before the cabana is rented. Otherwise, why would they hold it for you?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I try to do the Jingle Bell Rock. It's about Rob. Yeah. It's about Rob all day. Like that was the vision. And I guess he didn't understand the prompt and just kind of riffed and did some slapstick instead.
Called me Dick twice. Like, what if I was offended by that?
Yeah.
It's Richard.
Yeah.
And so this is our second cameo for some of the OG followers. We did the Great Kali cameo. You remember that?
That one was a little more of a language issue.
That was a language barrier, pronunciation, a giant syndrome. Like he talks like in a different way than normal people do. So that's a little more leeway, but so far we're kind of 0 for 2 on getting.
What was the Great Kali's main line?
Fleccas podcast,
podcast.
Well, we said thank you for listening to Fleccas Talks the podcast, the best new podcast of all time, or something like that. But he goes, thank you, Fleccas podcast, and then he did the same thing. Such big fans of me, and it's like, can you hit the lines?
Can you just read what I wrote? It's like you just hit the lines. The reality actors think they need to spruce it up and think they know best. I gave you a pretty tight list. You didn't mention the cabana and you didn't do the song. So right on, bro. So much I think here. Man, right on, bro. R-O-B. So much I think here. S-M-I-T-H.
Yeah.
Can't get away from it.
I know.
All right, well, that's the end of housekeeping. Before we get into Cringe of the Week, we have a special announcement. Ding, ding, ding. We have a Black Friday announcement. Guys, are you looking for a gift for the person in your life who thinks Joe Biden's a clown, Hillary Clinton smells like sulfur, and Dan Crenshaw's a rhino? Well, do I have a website for you? It's FleccasToys.com. Go there today. We have a bunch of collectibles. We have the Dan Crenshaw action figure, which is the rhino with the eye patch. We have the Hillary Clinton receptacle van from that time she got stuffed in that van at the 9/11 memorial after fainting. And we have 2 new action figures. We have the Joe Biden clown and the dog-faced pony soldier. The dog-faced pony soldier is my absolute favorite. It's a dog face with horse hooves and a military outfit, which was, I guess, what Joe Biden was talking about that time when he called someone
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were.
So get them today. They're fantastic gifts, really good stocking stuffers. They're cheap. Get them while you still can. Guys, money's fake. Why not buy things you like? FleccasToys.com is the website. Get some today while you still can. They're going fast. Get them before it's too late. FleccasToys.com. Let's head into Cringe of the Week. All right, Cringe of the Week. Our first part of Cringe of the Week is a big story. There was a high school quarterback, a white kid, who was singing in a Snapchat or an Instagram story. He was singing along to a rap song and mouthed the N-word. Yeah, and now he lost his scholarship.
Yep, it said Marcus Stokes, one of the best high school football players in the country, had his Florida scholarship offer pulled this weekend after he was seen on the video rapping the N-word. So Florida, this guy's like a top QB, white kid, obviously. And Florida, good school, SEC, you know.
Didn't Aaron Rodriguez go there? Is that his name? The guy
Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez, the guy who killed people?
Mm-hmm. And he killed someone at Florida, I think. And that got tied to him later after they found the second killing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's like a game of telephone. By the time it gets to Rachel Maddow, it's like, white high school quarterback offered scholarship for saying N-word.
This is systemic racism in America, and this is what happens.
So obviously in this case, you should never apologize because the people you apologize to have already made up their mind that you're a horrible, racist, white privileged kid, and they want to destroy you. And then when you apologize for something that isn't even that big of a deal, now the people that would have supported you kind of just see you as a bitch boy.
Yeah, I go back and forth on that because he has to release some sort of statement like he's trying to get another scholarship, right?
Yeah.
And some other school like West Virginia or somebody who's like a tier down is going to get a nice recruit now. So shout out to whatever school he ends up in.
That's true. You pick up. That's a good quarterback to pick up because people are scared to touch him. It's not because he's performing poorly or not a good player.
On the field.
He's good on the field.
He's bad on Snapchat.
He's just a little insensitive.
Yeah, and so I mean, this is just like such a weird scenario where it's like, okay, that song can play in the Florida Gators locker room. Everyone can sing along to it. It's just about how white people engage with the song. 6ix9ine, that Puerto Rican rapper, he says, he says it all day. But the white kid, the white high schooler who like his frontal lobe isn't even fully developed, he can't sing along to the song.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a just get back in line scenario. It's not like anyone was hurt. It's just like you stepped out of line, white teenager, get back, lose your privilege, lose your stuff, and get back in line. Yeah. Should I read this Anomaly?
Of course.
Anomaly had a good take I saw on Twitter, had to screenshot it. If white people in America weren't so defeated and subservient, they would stop listening to music that they're not even welcome to sing along to. It's getting pathetic. So
very true. And it's all about power. 75% of the Florida team can sing it.
Oh, yeah.
They're allowed to sing it. So it's not even like it's a full no-no word.
Imagine Florida in the locker room, like after a big win, like, yo, like, dun-dun. Dun dun, like Kanye starts playing, and then like they're all singing it, and then they look around at who's mouthing what. They start policing it. It's like, guys, relax. It's a song. It already said. It already got said. It was already recorded. It's playing at like 30 decibels.
Yeah, is the word bad or not?
Yeah, and obviously no. It's theirs. It's their word, but it's now just becoming a mechanism for subservient whites. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Nice little way to cancel people and to flip the totem pole, I guess.
What's this little white kid most proud of in his whole life? Oh, wow, the football and being good and being talented and the recognition he gets and the scholarship. He doesn't have to pay for college. Let's just yoink that for a minor infraction.
Yeah, exactly. And that sets the tone going forward, too, for everyone else. Speaking of white privilege, Sav Hernandez had a great video getting some people, asking them about white privilege. Check this out.
We don't have the same privileges that are offered to straight white men.
And I've been hearing that from a lot of the ladies that I've been talking to today. Talk to me about what some of those privileges are that, straight white men have that you don't have. Talk to me about that.
I think I don't really know. Have you ever experienced like a specific instance?
I don't know, but I also need to go.
I know, I do need to go. I'm sorry.
If I were to walk across the streets in the dark as a black, queer, female presenting person, I would not feel safe because I feel like I would be pretty targeted. But if I were a white cis man, I don't think I'd be like the type of person someone would come up to and hate crime.
Talk to me about some of the privileges that white men are awarded that you guys are not awarded. Talk to me about some of the privileges that white men are awarded that you guys are not
Sloppy
awarded.
edit, turning point.
Definitely, like, I guess just getting away with situations. Like, if I were to, like, I don't know, like, I guess...
Train wreck.
Here you go. I have to think about it.
That is so bad. That is the worst case scenario, is walking away from a street interviewer.
Not one example. No one has one thing to say about the evidence. And then we just saw in the last thing, it's like, where's the white privilege for that kid who mouthed the N-word while singing a song?
Yeah, he should be on his way to like the country club, getting like a jacket slipped over him and being like, "Hey, you did well, boy. Good stuff. Keep it up."
Yeah, exactly. But the privilege actually seems to be reversed. I think all these people in the video kind of have more privilege than white people these days.
Yeah. Funny little side note: this girl who is talking about being genderqueer, like I'm a black genderqueer something. There's a nice little fork truck driving behind her. And then a couple guys in yellow vests, just, white men going to work.
Yeah.
She's talking about genderqueer and hypothetical privilege.
Been up since 5 a.m., working in a hole somewhere.
Exactly.
Keeping the campus going. No one even looks at them.
Exactly. But in her thought experiment, she's the biggest victim on earth. Although they cannot explain it.
Exactly. All right, our next clip, the gender is complicated girl who has its pronouns.
Yep.
This is pretty good.
So for me, gender is complicated because I would rather not be associated with it to the point where I would rather not be a human or even an animal. I would like to be an inanimate object. So I use its pronouns, but nobody uses them for me. I just have them in my bio. Nobody's comfortable with them. But I would like people to use them because that further removes me from the gender binary to the point where I am just an object. just a piece of grass.
So does it know what 3 times 3 times 3 is? Does it get embarrassed in a Justin Awad type video? It sounds like it's about to get $1,200 a month in San Francisco.
Ooh, it is having a come up on that free money train.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
My favorite thing is, and this is always the case for these people who are waxing ideologically on TikTok. Nobody says it, but I just put it in my bio. It's like it's not even being practiced by you and your close friends, and you expect the internet to kind of give you what you want in return, and it's just like that's delusional, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't even stand up in your own life. Like if someone was actually passionate and hard about it, and they were like, "I'm it," and like took a stand and made everyone in their family do it, like, all right, at least that's something.
Yeah.
You're killing your father,
Yeah.
but at least that's something. The weak-willed, like, oh, I just feel like I should be, but then I don't take a stand for it.
You're not even good at that.
Yeah, you're not even good at getting what you want. So
You're not even good at the fake pronoun thing you made up. You're not even trying.
Exactly.
That's who canceled out your vote.
That's my favorite. Is
You canceled out your vote.
You get to pick a random, and it's like the worst person possible. Like they just killed me.
One Fleccas vote, R down the whole list, and then one Dem down the whole list, and then she probably had some friends or maybe did some ballot harvesting or something.
Backpack full of ballots. Who knows what else was happening?
Yeah, it's sad that this person's so disenfranchised that they would rather be an object. You can tell that there's no God in their life, and there's no God in the lives of anyone close to them who could like instill value into them and speak like highly into them and like get them going. They're just like years and years removed from anyone with any sort of faith too, is how you get to that point.
Yeah, like imagine back in the day, like in the 90s, if you were like a psychologist or something, you're a therapist talking to this person, and you're not doing the 2022 therapy stuff.
Well, yeah, you're doing the Tony Soprano psychiatrist.
Exactly. Someone who's trying to get to the root issue. And this girl, imagine if she was in that chair being like, you know, sometimes I don't even feel like a human. I just don't think I'm a human. I don't like it. It's like, well, clearly you have tons of self-worth issues. Like there's a perspective thing going on. Like, let's get to the root cause of this. And it's just, okay, somebody say it's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They
by
tell the
that? Like,
psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist goes, okay, so you're it's, yeah, okay.
so what part of you is not feeling human, and how can we solve that, and why? And is that about depression? Is that
self-worth?
bipolar?
Yeah. And it's they just go along with it and then try to like paint a picture and create a world where that reality is true.
Yeah.
Which I think is a huge problem these days. Next, the trans teacher with all the flags.
Yeah, this is I think I saw this billed as the advertisement for homeschooling. Trans flag, non-binary, everything is a gay flag. Every single thing is a gay flag, and it's a niche gay flag.
Like the UN flags of gay flags.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of people, because we talk about like the school shootings and stuff, and I've said like we should arm teachers in schools, and the left freaks out when they hear that, and I think it's because they think we mean give a gun to like this person.
Yeah,
no. We don't mean her. We don't mean that person.
There is a gym coach. There is a football coach in your school who could handle a gun.
Yeah, exactly.
And this flag bearer.
I posted a meme the other day from Chinese Donut Boy that said was a T-shirt that said "Lower teachers' salaries." Just a funny little bit.
Obviously, a meme that doesn't make any sense.
Like a brain dead bit that makes no sense.
Yeah.
And everyone got super mad, but now I see this. I think it's up for debate at least.
Yeah, the bit is
I don't know. Now I don't know.
Yeah. Well, so do you have any comments on that? People getting mad at you? People getting mad at you for a meme, an obvious meme?
Well, some people wrote like huge paragraphs, like my husband's a teacher and he loves your show and he works so hard and blah, blah, blah. And I just wrote like, hey, I didn't read that. It's a meme.
Yeah.
It's a bit. Like I didn't read what you said. It's too long.
Dude, if you watch this show and you're a teacher, we already know you're a good teacher.
Yeah,
because you're not doing any of the stuff that we're talking about every single day.
Yeah, you're the good ones. It's just like a funny bit that it makes no sense that like no one really has that take of
like legalize nuclear bombs.
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah, exactly. All right, we're still in Cringe. We have a page 2 of Cringe. Michael Jordan's son is now out and openly dating Scottie Pippen's ex-wife.
Yeah, and I grew up in Chicago in the 90s. So the Bulls teams, I love Scottie Pippen. And Scottie Pippen, I'll set this up a little bit. He got a little bit humiliated because Future, also the rapper Future, also slept with and I think dated Larsa Pippen for a while.
Dated his wife for a few nights.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is one of Michael Jordan's sons with her.
Hey, Laura, that's what you doing? You with the boy Mutsa? You a cold motherfucker, ain't you? You cold as a motherfucker, homie.
That's a good heckle.
I love that. I cannot get enough of that.
That's a good heckle.
Because it's like, remember when there used to be like shame?
Yeah.
And like women weren't just like on OnlyFans, and there was like small town shame. And if you did something really sketchy, like word kind of made it around town, and then you were humiliated, and then you had to move to San Francisco and become like the weird hippie lady.
Like a gypsy.
Yeah. We don't see that enough anymore. There's no accountability. There's no shame. Some of these women are doing the most heinous shit possible. You're going to date the son of the co-superstar of all your championship rings, like the guy you won, that you couldn't find somebody else.
Anybody else.
Literally anybody else. Even Future is better than that.
Yeah.
But that's still humiliating because it's the public eye shit. So Larsa Pippen, good luck. I hope you get heckled more. MJ's son, gray area, I guess, you know.
MJ's son, even too, should kind of draw a line.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of realize, like, hey, does she like me, or is she just kind of doing some sick thing where she's trying to get Scottie Pippen mad?
Yeah. And I think it's at least 50%.
And I totally agree with what you said about like the shame and how that stuff's gone. It wasn't necessarily bad. And then like the feminist movement got hijacked and convinced women that anything you felt shame about is actually good and be celebrated. And now you have to go like have a parade about abortions and sleep around and be a slut and act like a man. And it's gotten us into a pretty dark spiral that we're...
Exactly. And then can you imagine, like, if you cheated on your wife or something, you cheated, and then you were just out there the next day and you, expected no resistance?
Yeah.
Like, no, some people should be mad. There should be some people who, like, hold you accountable, right?
Yeah. It should be discouraged. So if you make a bad decision, it's like you really have to make that decision.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want that decision so bad, then great, go for it. Face the adversity. The adversity that you built, that you dug into. And so I love a good heckle. Larsa thinks she was above it. And especially this guy is just, you a cold motherfucker. Like, yeah, you are. Acknowledge it, right?
Yeah.
Live with it.
That was good. All right, next, we're still in Cringe. This is a different than our usual Cringe. This is a different type of video. It's just like a guy who I've seen on, I guess, TikTok and Instagram. And he has like these really weird interactions with people. And I don't know how to put my finger on it. It is cringe, but it's also just like very hilarious. There's two clips. The tattoo one first. Let's do.
Looking good. I like that. Hey. Looking real good. Real good.
So he just kind of has normal interactions, but pushes his limits like way too far? Or
he's
what?
a little weird. And the next one's good too, the Papa one.
And then I strike like a lion stalking his prey.
Yeah.
Gotcha, didn't I?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Fine. How you doing?
Good. Now I'm talking to the world's greatest Papa.
Yeah.
What is this?
I don't know. I think hopefully see more of him.
Yeah.
But that guy is out there doing it.
Bright future, you'd say?
He's like the type that isn't obviously embarrassed or like unsure of like what he's gonna do or say. He doesn't care what people think, and now he just creates like a meme world, and we just live in it.
I like that.
I really like that. That's like what Sam Hyde does too.
Yeah.
Where we're just, like he creates a meme world. You're just like a pawn in it, and he just kind of plays everyone and does his bits, and it's super.
Has
fun.
his henchmen as well.
Mm-hmm.
Creates a bit of a cinematic universe.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And at the end, it's just all for you. You don't care if people think you're weird or whatever. You're doing bits, and people are taking them seriously. That's nothing better than that.
I'm going to show you a guy next week who's doing a similar thing with different. He'll go up to lawyers randomly, and he'll be like, "Hey, man, remember me? You got me 10 years in 93, the Joey Gambino case." And he just comes up and he's like, "Wrong guy." So I'll bring that for next week. But
that sounds good. All right.
we're collecting people like this. So.
Yeah, that's another pet. But
Yeah.
that guy's not even technically a pet because we'd probably be his pets. Like he's above pet.
Oh, yeah.
He knows what he's doing. He has his own pets.
Exactly.
He's treating everyone in the world like a pet, which is great. I love that mindset. Next, the Qatar guy. The guy went to Qatar. And he got removed from the game because he wore a gay shirt.
Yeah, I will say this too: Qatar and Qatar. Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of a Kiev thing going on there. Like for a while, it was Qatar. So I'm leaving it up to you.
I'm saying Qatar.
Okay, so this guy said, just now, security guard refusing to let me into the stadium for USA Wales. You have to change your shirt. It's not allowed. And he's wearing just an obnoxious pride gay shirt. Like, he's doing what he's intending to do, which is wear a gay shirt in Qatar. I'll go Qatar, you go Qatar. To cause a scene. And he got what he was looking for, and they said no. And so this cleric, I don't know who this guy is, but he got a lot of likes, so he must be someone of authority in Qatar. He goes, as a Qatari, I'm proud of what happened. I don't know when will the Westerners realize that their values aren't universal. There are other cultures with different values that should be equally respected. Let's not forget that the West is not the spokesperson for humanity.
Which I totally agree with, especially now, because if we were the spokespeople for humanity, everything would be gay and trans.
Yeah, it'd be drag queen America hour.
Yeah.
Like, it would be disgusting shit. And then there'd be twerking.
Yeah.
And, like, degeneracy, all.
So that guy is pretty based, and I agree with what he said.
Yeah.
And if those are their views, it's like if you're a progressive person who's really into the trans and the gay stuff, your thing is tolerance. So you should be accepting of other people's point of views because that's tolerance. And then if you say, well, they're not accepting of me, okay, they never said that tolerance was their virtue. They never said, oh, we're super tolerant.
You think Qatar was advertised as this beacon of like tolerance and accepting?
Tolerance is you.
Yeah.
You said tolerance and now you're getting mad, so you're not really tolerant. He said not tolerant and has been consistently not tolerant.
He stayed even. You went full circle and now you're back.
So you kind of lied and just used tolerance to get you in the door. These people have been consistent.
Exactly. And so do we want to play the other guy who got
do
confronted by
that
some
Jesse
news
Kelly
lady?
tweet too.
Yeah, so Jesse Kelly had a good tweet on it. He said, I used to judge other countries hard when I saw things like intolerance. Then I woke up one day and saw this on Good Morning America. Haven't judged another country since.
Exactly.
And it's Desmond is Amazing, the little fucking whatever you want to say.
Little drag queen kid, and that was the day Michael Strahan sold his soul.
No, Strahan sold it a long time ago. That was the day he had to ring the register, right?
That's true.
Strahan was, that was when they called him in.
Soul sold, and then, hey, Strahan, it's time. We're bringing in the trans kids.
Hey, 20 mil a year, Strahan? I get it, but just admit it.
Yeah, just admit it. Then there's a video that came out kind of about this, the Qatari guy. So you said before, you said as a Qatari. You didn't say Qatari.
I know. That's why I have no basis. It's Kiev again. It's all over. It's the same thing.
All right.
Sexuality is not allowed, is it?
What do you mean? What's open
Here
homosexuality?
in Qatar.
Everyone is welcome. Listen, public display of affection is frowned upon, and that goes across the board. Across the board. Qatar is a modest country.
Qatar.
That's all that needs to be respected.
That was right.
Other than that, everyone's free to live their life.
People can be imprisoned for being homosexual in Qatar.
People can be imprisoned for being heterosexual in Qatar. I don't understand your question.
Are you saying that?
Heterosexual, homosexual people live in Qatar.
Are you saying that homosexual people can be open and feel safe?
I think public display of affection is frowned upon, and public display of affection across the board is frowned upon.
Hey, that sounds reasonable.
It sounds like a reasonable standard applied, across the board. So
I wish Western Christians would take more of an approach like that, where you kind of have your beliefs and you stick to them, and you don't try to win people over and win points by saying, "Oh, I'm not all for this," or "I don't believe all of that." You kind of just believe what you believe, and if people don't like it, okay, no big deal. I'm not attacking you. I'm not trying to kill you. I'm just saying, oh, I don't really like the trans kid stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm bad. That's your opinion. Move on. So that guy's based Qatar, not Qatar.
nice to see someone stand tall.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a universal acceptance of the world. Is someone standing tall is way better than someone folding and just being like, whatever.
Yeah.
America's here. Let the gay shirts in. It's like, no, what did you expect? You had to buy a ticket. You had to do a little research to get there, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's like. What Epcot, you do a little tour of all the countries and what they like and don't like, and the food. That's part of it. You get a little taste of the culture.
Exactly.
All right, that's our cringe of the week this week. That was a good cringe of the week. Nothing crazy.
Solid variance, I'd say.
Solid variance for sure. We are heading into our Urban Decay section. Our first clip of Urban Decay, Robert gets away. He's talking to the police. This is a good little trick for everyone at home. If you're talking to the police and need to kind of get away, here's a way to do it.
This guy's basically refusing to show his ID. The cops are after him for something.
Why would you come at me disrespectful? One last time, so you have your ID. Yeah, I got my ID on me, bro. No, let me get my bag. Give me my bag.
One step and it's like, nah, he's gone.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is the cops don't even think about chasing him.
Yeah.
The cop opens up his step and goes, nah, it's over. So that works, I guess. I guess we're giving criminal tips now. It's kind of a critique on the NYPD and all that, but we're also just giving free criminal tips.
Yeah. Cops can't chase. Maybe it's time to run.
Yeah.
That's how we live on the bikes here in New Orleans.
Exactly.
We saw a cop the first time we went out and they didn't do anything. They didn't even notice that we were doing anything illegal. It was just another day. And, well, keep in mind, too, we did a drive on the bikes the other day and we saw like the road got shut down for like an impromptu parade.
Yeah.
And then there were people on horses. There were people moving like grills on shopping carts. There were people twerking. It was like absolute chaos. A ton of mini bikes, a ton of motorcycles and quads and ATVs. And once I saw that, it was like, dude, if you ever get pulled
We're
over,
in the right spot.
That's like, hey, we're going to the Sunday in the Square or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I said my lie was going to be. Did we already talk about this? I was going to say I'm just a tourist. I rented this from someone on Bourbon Street. Like, what? Am I not allowed?
Yeah.
Ooh, I better get my money back and act like I got victimized.
So there's so much chaos here that it's not even close to being an issue or illegal, even though it probably is.
Yeah.
All right, next clip. Cop wrestles with a guy, and then there's a surprise. This is pretty good.
It's in Kansas City.
So cops are chasing this guy. Well, that guy's chasing the cop.
Yeah, like, and then this guy's looking to sucker punch a cop.
He's sucker punching a cop. And then a girl comes. Well, this is chaos, dude. The cops don't get paid enough.
This guy is hanging around who just tried to sucker punch the police, and then
now the girl's twerking, socioeconomic twerk. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Like, what world are we living in? This guy tries to sucker punch a cop. The cop pulls out his gun because he has to. It's getting crazy. It's knockout time. And then the girl has no fear of the gun, begins twerking.
Well, the cop has white privilege.
Explain that to me. Explain that to me a little more. So she had
imagine who has privilege here. The people who are attacking the cops, or the person who's like trying to break up the cops from arresting someone and then twerking on them. Is that not privilege? Would you ever do that? Do you ever feel like you can do that?
The baton would come out and they'd start hitting the side of my legs and shit. Like, that's how bad it would be. Man, how did we get here? How did we get here? We're twerking. And that's kind of the same thing. Like, we saw that parade, the parade we just mentioned before. We saw like multiple black girls with their full ass out.
Yeah.
Like a mini skirt, like a Japanese mini skirt.
And goes up to like their upper back.
And their whole ass was out. So like this twerking, fat ass, jiggly shit is like fully ingrained in the culture now, right?
Yeah.
And it's a nasty, nasty thing.
Yeah.
It's chunky cheese ass.
Chunky cheese ass.
Like not even a good ass. Like not even dump truck, like jiggly shit. So how do we get here? What happened?
Well, a white privilege. It's the counter to white privilege.
That's white privilege.
It's an overcompensation to
white supremacy got so bad that they had to fight anyway.
They had to come over the top and really dominate.
And that way it was just sexual jello ass shit.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
All right.
Because then it's like a demanding acceptance. Because like, oh, you're white privileged. You like white things. This is what we like. You have to accept it. And then all the liberal white people go, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, you just dance. It's just dancing.
It's just dancing. Get over it, weirdo. Yeah. And it's like your ass is out. It's like public indecency.
You're naked in the street and you're a girl. You're someone's mom.
Oh, and then one of them who had their ass out was walking past us. We were taking a ride with the mini bikes. One of them was walking past us and said something about eating ass.
Yeah,
and it was like a loud, drunk black girl with her ass out, and she was yelling about eating ass as she walked past us, which felt like kind of like I could say whatever in front of you, white boys. But it's like you're just disgusting, and you just devalue yourself so much.
Yeah.
I guess if you work a shitty job and you're never going anywhere and you have no plans to improve, then that's a great life.
Yeah.
So keep it up.
Welcome to Urban Decay. You're in the Urban Decay section. All right, next, people had secondhand crack smoke on the subway. This has happened to me before in LA.
Happened to me as well. So he's deep in the throes of the crack.
He's breathing it on people.
This white guy with his privilege protecting his backpack. What does he think the crackhead might steal?
That's so true. White privilege would be like, yeah, I can smoke crack in the subway. Exactly. No one even cares.
So, I mean, I think we're realizing that certain people have more privilege than others now.
I don't think it's the white people who have the privilege.
Yeah.
And there's like the idea that like the subway is for everyone. And then when you do that, it actually just like you have like lowest common denominator subway rules. And then the subway's for everyone. And then you have like the crackhead people smoking on the subway. And now the subway's for nobody.
Exactly. Nobody but the poor people who now have to deal with the filth that the affluent liberals said was fine.
Yeah.
Because they didn't fund it.
Exactly.
Or police it.
When you have everyone on the subway, then there's no standards. And then no one can enjoy the subway. And if you have to use it because you're poor, now your quality of life is down, and they'll try to turn it and say it's because the racist white Republicans.
So true.
Yeah, there's the guy smoking crack on the subway right next to you. There's kids on that train.
Yep.
All right, next there's a pizza robbery. I've never seen something like this. This is pretty intense.
Home invasion.
Yeah, I got a pizza. What you want? Hey, wait a motherfucker!
Ooh.
Scary. And then the later guy comes in. Would have loved that video to be a AR-15 open. Bow, bow, bow.
The other day I ordered Uber Eats and the guy accidentally opened the door.
Into the house?
Into the house. And Jerry, the dog, my little protector, my little write-off, my little tax write-off boy, approached him pretty quick. And the guy was like, whoa, like dropped the bag and like basically ran out. So little Jerry, even though he's not scary to us, is a little home defense, little tax write-off boy.
Yeah, yeah.
So it worked. That's why you got to have a Rottweiler.
Yeah. Well, and we're getting to the point where it's just like, the girl whose car broke down at 2 a.m. in the suburban neighborhood, she's not getting helped. Society is not going to help her anymore. You better call AAA because the chances of something like this happening, especially as we head into like tough economic times and kind of a recession, it's like I'm not answering the door for fucking anyone.
Yeah, same. And this made me think, we were talking the other day about this, when it comes to crime bills, you know how everyone like was happy that Trump did the prison reform or whatever, and then they're like, oh, the 94 crime bill was so bad, Joe Biden. It actually comes in like a cycle, and I kind of realized it, and this is why I'm now pro-crime bill.
Pro-1994 crime bill.
Yeah, because exactly, what was that, 3-strike rule? That sounds good to me.
I think that was just California.
Oh,
too.
okay.
I think the 94 crime bill, one of the things that it had was like mandatory minimums for drug offenses, which is like the one thing that was bad.
Okay.
But hey, 90s were pure, man. Criminals were actually off the streets.
Yeah. And then the 3-strike rule, whatever that is, I like that. If you do 3 felonies, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, because on the second felony, you go, okay, really?
No more
felonies. Really, really, really.
Chill felonies.
Yeah.
So it's like when you have this, it creates a cycle, I've noticed, where basically it's like the Democrats are lenient on crime and they let everyone go because they think if you're strict on crime, it's racism, right?
Yep.
So then crime gets out of hand.
Well, that's the psyop that they.
That's the psyop.
Yeah.
So
look at how many black people are in jail. It's crazy. That must be racism. It's not just the result of crimes.
Exactly. So they don't prosecute. They let all the criminals go. Then times get really bad. Crime gets out of hand. There's petty crime is increased. Murders increase. Subways, robberies, everything. So then people are like, hey, let's backtrack a little bit. Let's do a crime bill. And then they do a crime bill. People get arrested. Times are better. But then the Democrats start crying racism again. And then they start being lenient on crime again. And then the whole cycle happens all over again.
Yeah. Tough crime bills create good times.
Yeah.
Good times create racist repeals of those crime bills.
Yeah.
But it's only like 2. It's just wall-to-wall cycles back and forth.
Exactly. So the moral of the story is crying racism does more bad than good.
For sure.
Every single time. All right, next there's a black lady versus an Asian lady yelling in a gas station.
You're racist? That's what you said?
That's what I said.
What did you say?
It's not against the law, bitch. You heard what I said. Go eat your dog with some rice, bitch.
Go eat your dog with some rice. Presumed Asian woman.
Yeah.
She said, go eat your dog with some rice.
That's what I said. Go
Go eat your dog. So that's like, so go eat your dog with some rice, but everyone, freaks out. Well, not everyone, because it was a black person saying it, so not everyone fully cares.
Yeah.
But
if that was a white doctor or a kid with a scholarship,
over.
Bye.
Done.
Bye.
But everything's racism now, and you can't just talk shit. Isn't talking shit like Americana?
Yeah. Isn't getting in a fight with someone at the gas station and saying the most heinous shit you could possibly think of, like, just part of getting angry a little bit?
Yeah, exactly.
like shouldn't this Asian lady say, "Oh yeah, like go with your busted ass car"? Like, just talk some shit back.
Yeah.
Instead, she goes and gets the license plate. It's like, no, talk your shit. It's wide open. You can say whatever. She said, "Go eat your dog with rice."
Yeah, and then you get the license plate to take it on to TikTok, so there's like some public outrage,
like a paper trail or something.
But it's like, go eat your dog with some rice, bitch. And it's like, well, fuck you. Why don't you go twerk?
Yeah.
Now we're talking shit. We got a little bit of a fight. It's like, is everyone racist, or are we just trying to say things that we think will hurt the other person?
Yeah.
Not the same as racism. And I think that's okay. We should be able to talk a little shit. We kind of lost that. They took that from us.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Can't talk shit anymore.
Yeah. And, it's all policing, like, oh, this will get you later if you're a secretary somewhere, you know, at a trucking company. And then they'll have to fire you and release a PR statement. Nah, just talk a little shit. Eat it. Eat it, lady. Do you really eat dog? No? So then it's just a racist, weird
like
insult?
a trope. It's like, okay.
Okay, so suck it up,
Talk some shit back.
Yeah, get tough. Talk some shit back. Everybody have a little banter.
What happened?
It's not like cooler heads are about to prevail at the gas station fight. So like, there's no reason to really get up in arms about it.
So they took that from us. There was a time when Americans can talk shit and say some things that were maybe racially insensitive, and it would just be a little bit of a road rage incident.
Do you think this black lady is going and like treating every Asian person she sees for the rest of the day like shit now? Like,
yeah.
Do you think there's like a real racism thing going on? I personally don't, but
Yeah. Talking shit is as Americana as it gets.
Yes.
All right. That's our Urban Decay section.
Well, I have one more.
All right. What is it?
I have an update.
Okay.
So we talked about Takeoff, the murder of Takeoff, right?
The Migos guy who got killed.
Yes, the rapper who got killed. It was at a dice game. It was an argument. He's a rich and wealthy guy. We had a lot of conversations about how he should be hanging out with old white people. Mm-hmm. The cornier, the better. Some sort of industrial millionaire, some sort of like, oh, I do all the plumbing in Texas. Mm-hmm. Like, and how they should be hanging at the country club.
Yeah.
Golfing, doing corny white guy shit.
Of
and then you never get shot. You never die. You live until you're 60.
A lot of people have guns still, but they ain't just firing them for nothing.
Exactly. It's a last case scenario. 21 Savage has seemed to take our advice. He watches the podcast. So here's
Let's go. Got it.
There's 21 Savage. Yeah, he's hanging with a white guy. He's golfing. He got it. Tiger Hoods. Yeah. Well, lose that. You got to lose that.
That's what's up. He took our advice.
What was that? A 3-foot putt that he trained? So
3-foot putt.
Keep it up, 21. Hang out with those guys. Those guys will never betray you. Yeah. Those guys are never looking to like really get you.
Even if there's a misunderstanding, if you guys are, doing a skins game or something.
Yeah.
It'll probably
That's a stroke. Nobody's pulling out the gat.
No one's pulling out the gat, and there's no need to. Yeah, that's a good update. I'm glad he watches the podcast for sure.
I'm glad 21 Savage for sure watches us.
Definitely. All right. That is our Urban Decay section. Don't get too down. Don't get too depressed. We are moving into a lovely, uplifting gold section. Our first clip is the prank on the dad. This is good, uplifting stuff.
Yeah.
Since when is Sherbert spelled like that?
All right, you're done. Get out of here.
Double check that. I did.
What the f*** is happening?
I did. That's good stuff. That's a good prank on your dad.
Yeah, that's called the next leg up. That's the next, like you accelerated your prank so much by incorporating a midget.
Like once you go viral a couple times and this kid is like probably doing well on TikTok or whatever.
Then the funding comes. Yeah. That's when the funding comes and the real pranks on dads are. That's actually hilarious you say that because this dad is like hoping his son doesn't blow up on TikTok.
Yeah.
His quality of life is going way down.
It's only getting, I think that's the guy who did the same where he replaced the apple cider with gravy. That might be the same kid.
Really?
And then the dad poured the apple cider in the cup and drank it and it was gravy. So yeah, now that the kid's getting more viral, the stakes are higher.
Dad's life is about to get worse.
Yeah, but the props are increasing. Stuff like that. Next, the target kickball.
This is kind of like the other guy.
Excuse me. And that is what I would do if I was a bad customer. I'll go put it back.
That could have gone in cringe.
Yeah, that's teetering. That's teetering.
But just an absolute no regard, just punted across. Hey, excuse me, and then just points at it. You can't write that.
Yeah, you really can't.
That's good.
That might be schizo season, technically.
It's getting there. Next, a girl made the men's baseball team at Brown.
Yeah, which is, I guess, a first. The Ivy League leads the way in like Leah Thomas type incidents. They're always
and this is not a trans person.
No, this is just a girl. It says Olivia Picardo has made the Brown University baseball team, becoming the first female in history to be on an active NCAA Division I baseball varsity roster.
So sorry if you got cut from the Brown baseball team.
Yeah, the 24th guy or whatever. How many roster spots?
Yeah,
Sorry, buddy.
Kind of tough. And
the walk-on. The walk-on who's like, no, I'll go to Brown. I got in. I'm academically good enough. I'll make the team.
You lose to a girl.
Should I show the pitches?
Yeah, show the pitches.
These look like lollipops to me.
So she's been at an elite
I could
level,
hit that.
Oh,
past,
yeah.
and
Why is he pitching so slow?
That showed.
I don't think that we thought that it would go this far, but starting 8th grade or freshman year of high school, we thought, well, maybe I could actually play at the collegiate level. It was something that I just started thinking about, and it didn't seem like something
I want to wait till the coach
until
part.
I started to get further into the recruitment process.
Her biggest critic is in between her ears. I think that drive for her to excel, that drive for her to be successful is something that I think she's got in her core, and so that makes her better. That pushes.
I'm gonna say something. I don't mean to interrupt you, but it seems to me that all these baseball teams or sports events, football, men's, whatever, whenever there's like a girl kicker or a girl baseball player or whatever, there's also a coach who really likes to be on camera.
Yeah.
There's also a coach who's kind of a marketing guy, who's kind of a little bit of a marketing genius.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
You know, it doesn't seem like this girl really has the pitches to make it on the Browns men's baseball team. And if she does, that's embarrassing for all the men on the Browns men's baseball team. Whatever.
Yeah.
But there's always like the PR. The coach loves the spotlight a little bit. He likes the attention. So
exactly. Let's truly compare the first person who got cut, or like the last person who got cut.
Yeah,
and
last
then,
man in.
And then the her. And I think that the guys would be better. But I don't know. We always said it's a meritocracy. If you're good, then play. And if you're not,
be undeniable and you'll be on.
Yeah.
Right?
And then they kind of called our bluff now where it's like a true girl is on the team. And now I'm kind of backtracking, and I am going to just say I think they should be separate.
Interesting.
I think there shouldn't be girls in men's sports or men in girls' sports in any way it comes, whether it's trans or just a good athlete. I think she should go be the #1 softball player in the country.
I certainly agree with you there. And I'm almost positive that she probably didn't genuinely beat someone out like that.
Yeah. Hate to say it.
Once again, the coach gets the lighting right. He's got the framing, the camera crew's there. So I don't know.
2022. I'm a progressive guy. Yeah, it's mostly marketing. And then also the college. I'm sure there's like a woman athletic director.
Or a donor or something who has $20 million if they let the girl on the team.
Exactly. Or the athletic director is some lady who never played sports before.
Well, that's how the Ivy League goes. There's always the kid on the team whose mom made $300 million last year. And you're like, this kid's 5'6", and he's a running back? Like, what happened? So there are a few of those.
There's definitely a few of those.
In the Ivy League. But why is
this kid's not even good, but his parents' names on the wall of the building.
Yeah. You know that donor list, that football program that has the donor list?
Yeah.
They're always at the top.
That's how it goes.
What is this an uplifting gold for?
I don't know.
Okay. Just a clerical error on your end?
No.
You just wanted some extra cringe in the uplifting?
Yeah, I guess it didn't fit anywhere else.
Okay.
And everything else had their slots full of like cringe and urban.
Yeah. Hey, trust me, you don't need to explain what you're doing in Uplifting Gold. You've already not followed any rules that you've set for yourself.
That's why we do it.
Yeah.
Next is another guy who probably shouldn't be in Uplifting Gold, the gum schizo guy. Schizo season.
Swallow one piece of gum every 7 years. Okay, so we all know we live in a big simulation, right?
Yeah.
Everything around us is
Obviously.
computer generated, right? That there's one thing that isn't part of the simulation. That's gum. Gum is weird. You chew it. You could just chew forever. That's because gum comes from outside of the simulation. Gum is real. Okay, so you also know if you swallow gum, it stays in your system for 7 years. And every cell in your body changes every 7 years, right? And the 7-year itch, you change personalities every 7 years. That's because every 7 years, they come from the outside, and they take you away and put a whole new you in there, and they can change you any way they want. But if you swallow the gum, then they can't, because the gum locks you in place, because the gum is real. Gum is their weakness. Swallow one piece every 7 years. Any more than that, you might get a stomach ache, but one piece you should swallow.
Hey, it's schizo season.
Yeah, that sounds sound to me. I don't know. I don't know enough to dispute this.
So there's a little bit of advice for everyone listening. Just swallow your pieces of gum. I've never been a big gum swallower.
I think that this was on Mythbusters or one of those types of shows, and the gum lasts for 36 hours or something.
It just goes right through you.
It's not real.
It's not real.
But now I'm seeing that as a big conspiracy because this guy's talking a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So Mythbusters probably in on it, right?
Mythbusters is controlled opposition.
For sure. We've seen the guy. We've seen those clowns.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, okay. All right, good to know.
So Mythbusters is the opposite. Mm-hmm. Whatever they myth bust is still myth. There's no busting of any myths.
All right.
All right. Second to last clip, the True Love Old People. This is nice.
This would qualify as standard uplifting gold.
This is real uplifting.
So much you can't even get it in your head.
Good. Every 5 minutes.
He tells you?
Yes.
I say to him, Charlotte!
Isn't that nice? The old people like each other.
And then I have to drop it.
They look good. 95 and 90 or whatever.
Just to tell me how masculine and vibrant I am. One piece of advice.
Vibrant young man.
Pick the right mate.
Oh, Grandpa's been a very good husband. He still is, and he's very sweet.
And that's nice that he's a little older and then she kind of takes care of him. Because then if you go the other way, you have to take care of somebody who's old.
And that was
you don't want to do that.
Together.
Are you talking personally? Or
well,
what are you talking about?
If it was 95 and 90 the other way, he'd have to be taking care of the old lady.
That's true. That's true.
He did it right. That guy's nice. Pick the right mate. It's very important. Don't just marry anybody. That's why it's uplifting.
Extremely fair. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm uplifted. That uplifted me. The gum conspiracy guy, maybe.
Girl playing baseball, not really.
Not really. She was throwing lollipops out there. Gone forever. Goodbye.
The target kickball, kind of weird.
Nah.
The midget prank on the dad.
That's uplifting.
So we're half and half. All right, last clip of uplifting gold. It's the Marine with the trumpet. This should leave us all on a good note going into the weekend.
Semper Fi!
Semper Fi, brothers!
Semper-
Do or die, motherfucker!
Let's go! Let's go!
All right. Well, that should get everyone uplifted and going into the weekend on a nice note. Another Fleccas Talks in the books. Please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. ShopFleccas.com for the best merch in the game. Undertack.com. Make sure you get a pair of underwear today to get your chance of getting a base mug. And also FleccasToys.com. Get your action figures while you still can. It's going fast. A lot of those are going fast, so make sure you get them before Christmas. And there's no bonus land this week. Sorry, bonus land people. We're off. We're taking off on bonus land for Monday. But if you want to join, patreon.com/Fleccas or YouTube join. We do a bonus episode every Monday except this time.
There's a whole catalog.
There's a whole catalog of unlisted, basically like 30-minute episodes that come out every Monday. You'll like it if you like the show. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. We will see you at the next one.